Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you an update on what I did August 2021. I quit my corporate job to do photography 100% of the time. So we're going to talk about what happened, what didn't happen, what I thought was going to happen, and all the ups and downs and what I learned in the process of that. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So just to give you an update, I was working a full-time job for over 33 years with the same company. In the process of all of that, I was still doing my photography on the side. When I say on the side, it was two full-time jobs. I was doing the machine shop 50 hours a week, and I was still doing the photography on the side, averaging anywhere between 17 to 20 weddings per year. 25 families, 15 high school seniors, a small studio space for newborns and things like that. So it was definitely a full-blown, flourishing photography business, but I was still doing a full-time job. And the benefits of that was I decided I was going to do that as long as I possibly could. I wanted to get into later in my life so that I could retire from the machine shop and just start doing photography on the side. That didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to be. So the process and the hiccup that came along the way threw a little bit of a wrench in my plan. So I had to, kind of backpedal and take a step back and, a step of faith. I had to decide to myself, what's in the best interest of me. And that's what I had to really kind of step back and say, okay, what am I going to do? What am I not going to do? So the benefits of it and why I did it is not really relevant to this part of the video. I just want to focus on that I did it. For you, if you're on the fence with changing careers or doing a full-time job and your love and passion of whatever it is, if it's baking, if it's photography, if it's doing a DJ, whatever it is, if you're on the fence between that. So for me, it wasn't a money thing. It wasn't a money thing. I left the corporate world because of things that were happening with HR that I didn't agree with, and I called them out on it, and they said, sorry, we're going to go with the manager, and that manager ended up quitting a week after I quit. So they backed the wrong horse. So I decided at that time I was just going to step out, do the photography. So I quit in August of 2021. In the process of that, August was one of my busiest months, so I didn't feel the ripping off of the Band-Aid urgency right away. I did miss the benefits that come along with 33 years of having a salary. Very, the benefits, the medical, the dental, the 401k, the health insurance, the life insurance, and all those things that, are there when it comes to corporations that I miss in being an entrepreneur. But it does not outweigh the blessing of it. I say now, I'm so glad I did it August 2021. Back then, it was nail biting. It was, nervousness. It was, I went into my first season from November with no more weddings in November. So I did my family sessions and things like that, got me to December. And then pretty much after that, January, February, March of 2022 were, the slow seasons. But I kept myself busy with doing some products, and those turned out to be like amazing opportunity of creation where I had to challenge myself to, so creatively wise, it was really good. Just awkwardly wise, bad timing, because you do miss that steady paycheck coming in on top of all of the job that you're doing for your, for me, for the photography that it was. So those were the things. The busyness, I didn't feel, the missing the paychecks kind of thing like that. That was the easy part. The hard part was the faith. Trusting. Anybody says it's easy to trust God, they're not telling you the truth. They're not trusting God for anything too big. For me, this was big. I was stepping out, a wife, 2 kids, a home, more than 6-figure, salary when it came to that. So I had to really kind of step back and say, that's a big step. Can I do this? There wasn't a doubt in my mind that I could do it. I did not expect to double my income in photography in my first year. And I didn't. So that's the pros and cons to doing the whole thing. What I did notice and I did feel is the weight released from my physical body, the anxiety that I was carrying, the weight on my shoulders of going to a job that didn't appreciate me, didn't care about what I did. I was just another number. I was just another associate. And for me, being bought out from a mom and pop company was very devastating. To me, I was not, was not looked at as a valuable associate with 33 years of experience in there. I was, sorry, you don't like it, there's the door. So I took it. So with that being said, for me, I had to learn patience the most. And I think anytime anybody says, to be patient, it's a very, very gray, fine line between what is patient, what's not patience, how much patience should you have, how much patience do you have before you feel like, okay, enough's enough. You can keep hoping and praying and waiting for a certain thing, and 17 years go by, and all of a sudden it's like now you start to kind of question that thing. So I'm all about timing. For me, it was the timing of the thing. I did not quit my corporate job in my slowest season. That would not have been smart for me to do. I waited till I was in my busiest season, and I finally had enough and said that was it. And I went right into my busy season and flourished from there. So for me, it was the timing of the thing. So for you, it just might be, different. So there's ups, you're doing 5, 6, 7 weddings a month. Up to 9 weddings a month, and the next month after that you're doing 2. So the fluctuation in availability ranges quite a bit, but so does the money fluctuate quite a bit. So you're doing 9 weddings in 1 month, and then you're doing 2 weddings the next month. You're like, for me, twiddling my thumb. What am I going to do with the rest of the things? So for me, I just had to kind of find a balance in the midst of all of that when it came to that. That to me, that's what it was. I had to find the balance in the midst of all of that. So the money was a little bit trickier to kind of get used to. I had to adjust to making, X amount per month here. And now when I lost the corporate job and I quit that job, you still made the photography for X, but it ranged from 1 month to the next month, to the next. And it fluctuated because the amount of weddings per month fluctuate. The price of each wedding per month fluctuates. So there's 2 areas in there that you can do 7 weddings a month, but if they're all small weddings and you're only making $1,000 a wedding, that's a big change. So it's not about the dollar amount per weddings. It's more about the dollar. Yeah, it is the dollar amounts per wedding that make a difference. So I just had to adjust to the fluctuation between really, really busy month and then really, really slow month. And what I did was I just kind of put myself on a steady plane for pay. So whatever I was making for the corporate job, that's what I took out of my photography per month or per week, because that's what I needed to pay my mortgage and car bills and things like that. So I just stayed on that steady plane. So if I had a really good month, all the money went in the bank, and the next month after that, you're doing a quarter of the wedding. So you're doing 9 1 month to the next month. So at the end of the day, at the end of the year, all the money goes in the bank anyways, and you're only drawing from a weekly thing for your paychecks, everything. So you're not noticing X amount per month going up and going down. It's still a steady pace. So paying taxes was definitely a different thing for me to do, because I never had to do that before. Everything I did was I took more taxes out of my primary job, my corporate job, so that when tax time came, I had more than enough money paid into my taxes, even though I made money from my photography. I didn't end up having to pay at the end of the year because I put more than enough in from my corporate job. Wasn't able to do that because I couldn't calculate what my generated perception of what income was going to be, because I didn't know. Come January, you've only got 2 weddings booked for 2022, but you didn't do your shows yet. So you can't generate how much till the end of the year that you're going to make. That was the tricky part, was putting enough money per month away. So I talked to my accountant and I said, hey, what did I pay in taxes last year? Okay, that's what I ended up paying. So what I did was I divided it by 4, and she put me on a schedule of the 15th of every 3 months, sending X amount of dollars per month to the government, and that was all of 2022. So now we're going to see how 2023. So from August 2021 to August 2022, it's now November, end of November, and I haven't even had time to worry about a follow-up or an update because it has been so crazy busy. The biggest benefit that I got from this whole losing the corporate job was, oh my God, the time freedom I had. I was working my corporate job from anywhere between 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night, or 7 to 3:30 or 7 to 4. So as a machinist, there's overtime all the time. So once I stopped doing that, I got up the first week after not working that job anymore. I was like, oh my God, I don't feel pain in my back anymore. And I felt better that way. Health-wise, I didn't feel that anxiety of going to a corporation that didn't appreciate me. So that made me feel better. But I just have a lot more time now. So I've always been very time conscious anyways, and very, very good with my time and time management. So I feel like that helps me as a good business person. But I just divvied up my time. First thing in the morning, I get up, read my Bible, or I go on my long walks. I do anywhere between 3 to 6 miles per day, every day, or at least 5 times per week doing that. It's either in every other or anything like that. So getting on a good schedule with that was very important for me. But I found my biggest asset that I gained was time. I didn't make my, as an example, if I was making $150,000 a year between the photography and the corporate job, when I lost the corporate job, I didn't go all the way down to anything, and I didn't make up just doing photography. I didn't make $150,000, but I made more than what I anticipated because I had more time availability during the day. So that was very important to me to try and figure that part out and the balance of all of that. And then the tax is part of that. And the preparation, you got to prepare for, the ups and downs and the fluctuations of weddings per month. And, if I got, 6 weddings per month, kind of thing like that from April to November. Like right now is the end of November for just past Thanksgiving. And I've got 2 more weddings for the year, December 3rd and December 10th. So that's going to get me right to the end of the year. And then, bank all that money that I've been banking all year, ride that slow season out, do headshots during the winter time and stuff like that, do my products during the winter time, keep myself busy, stuff like that. It's very, very important for the time management part of that. So I wanted to thank you guys for coming back to the channel and just kind of give you an update on what has bin happening with Lemelin Photography from, August 2021. I've been doing this for over 15 years, even full-time back then. And some people feel like you're not full-time photographer to be if you have another job to fall back on. And I disagree with that philosophy. If you go to my website and you compare me to anybody else's, you're not going to say, he must have a part-time job or a full-time job. No. The bride and grooms don't care what you do on the side. They just care about what you can deliver to them on their wedding day. So that's very important to me. So I did it as long as I could. And then once I got past that point, I decided enough was enough, and that's what I was going to do. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I wanted to give you an update of August 2021 to August 2022. I've been so busy, thank the Lord, that I haven't even had time to sit down and do a video like this to give you an update on that. So that's a blessing that it's when you're busy, sometimes you don't have time to do the videos and things like that. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Thank you for paying attention and listening and heeding to my rambling when it comes to me just kind of talking about things business-wise and things like that. So it's very important to me to kind of keep it, very real when it comes to the ups and downs of a business owner in any way, shape, or form. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your patience. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. And remember, smile more because it sure does hurt less. Peace.